Okay, guys, we are back with another episode of the epic calculator computer display tutorial thing. And, sorry it's been a little while. I've been caught up with the LP with Hydra. But I want to catch you up to where we are and what we're going to be doing today. So this is our keypad. Remember the digits go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the bottom, we have plus right here, minus here, and 0, so like a normal calculator. This is going to be our clear button. Most of your calculators should have that. What that's going to do is clear out our memory banks that are holding the values, and those are back here. So I just labeled these lines. I took them up from the ground and labeled them. These are the memory banks. Remember, these are RS-NOR latches with AND gates. They can only be selected when this line back here is on. Okay, I'm going to turn down my my render distance, because it's getting a bit laggy. Anyways, so yeah, when this torch is on like this, then we can enter into the blue, called the, we'll just call this B. And when it's not on, so when this one's powered here, oops, we can enter into the A. So what I did was I labeled these with their values, 8421, 8421. What I want to do today is hook up our plus and minus buttons so that the correct operation is selected according to whether we're doing addition or subtraction. But before we actually do that, we need to make some kind of control so that we can't enter into both memory banks at once or the wrong memory bank. Basically what we need to do is give this a toggle between the memory banks, and we have our NOT gate, so they can't ever be both on at the same time. But right now, as you can see, only this one is on because we don't have a power line for this. So what I'm going to do is hook up the plus and minus buttons to share an input. I just took them around the back here, and let me make sure I'm not going to destroy anything important. They're just connected to each other right here, this line right here. And what we're going to do is hook that up to a T flip-flop. Remember, that's for toggle. And a T flip-flop, if you remember, is like the end of your clicky pen. You click it once to stick the pen out, and you click it again to put the pen back in. And that's the same button. It's one button that can toggle it on and off. It's like a light switch if your light switch was just one button. It's not like, it's like a lever, but just a button. So this is the one we're going to be using here. This is from the Minecraft wiki. It's called Z1, updated for 1.0. As you can see, if I click the button one time, it will be off. If I click it again, it's on. If I click it again, it's off. Click it again, it's on, and so on and so on. So we're going to hook up our plus and minus to the memory banks here, so that depending on which operation we're choosing, it will not allow us to access both of them at once. So regardless of whether we do plus or minus, like if I put into the calculator 5 plus 6 or 7, and then I wanted to calculate it, when I hit that plus sign, that means I want to start, I put in the 5 and hit the plus sign. That means I want to use the other memory bank to hold the 7. Or if I'm doing minus, like if I do 3 minus 1, it doesn't matter which memory bank I'm starting on. The fact of the matter is I need it to switch whichever thing it's on, okay? Now, by default, I want it to start off on the red one, the A, because B is going to be the one for when we're doing subtracting. This will be the negative one. So if we do like 5 minus 3, this will be the minus 3. Okay, so we're going to hook this up, and then we'll put in some logic for it to make sure it works properly. So we're going to be underneath our wiring, and what I want to do is just dig a tunnel straight back here to hook it up to this button here, and that should be pretty simple. My dogs are going nuts right now. Sorry. So we're just going to dig through, and we shouldn't hit anything, but if we do, we'll have to be careful here. Okay, let me go out, and I'm going to dig straight back from the where its destination is. So we want it to hit right here. Okay, so we're just going to dig straight back here until we find that other line that we made. if assuming we find it. I don't actually know if we went far enough. Oh, there it is, right here. So we can wire this guy up, and then we'll have to figure out the distance for the repeaters and everything. So what I'm going to do is, from the back of these, we need it to reach as far as possible, so put a torch here, and that should light them up equally. So we'll just follow this and put in repeaters. There's one. And it doesn't look like it reaches all the way, so we'll put one right here going into it. So let's just test it. Let me take out this torch. The plus and minus buttons should both switch it. So right now, which one is... Okay, well it's not going to switch it because we don't have our flip-flop. That's right. Sorry, I'm being stupid here. Let's take this out. We have to build our flip-flop first. Hollow out you a space. Oh my goodness, my dogs. Okay. So let's build this flip-flop. This is going to be the input. It'll be the output. I'm going to back this up a little bit. And the way it was... This is going to be complicated because we're underground. I'm going to dig down another space to make sure that we have enough room. Because if it hits the ceiling there, it's not going to work properly. Okay. So let's bring this down to the ground. So the input goes into a block like this. And I need to pull up the diagram because I don't remember what it looks like. Okay, so in order to build this, we're going to have our torch coming off of here, and then a repeater coming out of it, and you want to put that on the third position, so not quite all the way back, but right before it. That's going to go into a block here and a block here, with redstone on top of these, and coming back around. Okay. Then we're going to have a torch on this part of it, with a sticky piston on top. Oops. And we'll put our block, and a block goes next to a torch on the ground like this, and then our output comes off of here. And I actually want to see if I can run the output this way. I don't know if I can. Oh, it doesn't look like I can. Okay, so we're just going to hollow this out some and run the output around this way. And then connect that up to here. That should work. Let's give it a try, shall we? So let's just stick a button on this for the time being and test it. So if we click it once, it's out. If we click it again, it's in. Click it once, it's out. So right now A is on. Now B is on. Now back to A. So I'm going to kill that button. So now we have A on by default. Now let's go back to our control panel and test the plus and minus and see if that does what we want it to do. So let's say I put in like 2 minus something. So now it's waiting for the B. Cool. So if we did like, that's our B, then we got our answer. You hit that button. Huh, didn't swap. I wonder why it didn't swap. Well, that's the darndest thing. I wonder if it can't reach for some reason from that particular... I thought these were the same distance, but maybe not. Let's try this one. That back one is still on. Why is that? Why is that happening? Did I hook this back up? I did. Oh, you know what? I wonder... should be able to reach. Torch there. So for some reason the flip-flop's not working here anymore. Wonder, do we need to have this? Will that do it? Ah, okay. Oh, look at that. It can't reach. That's why. We're smart, right, guys? Of course we are. So we can kill that line on top. We don't need that. Let's go check our plus and minus buttons again. So we hit the gold one. which I think I said was plus. Now it's on B. If we hit it again, it's on A. Okay, let's do the same thing for the other button. We'll label these eventually. Okay, it was on A, so now it should be on B. And it is. And then we'll hit it one more time to leave it on A. Oh. Now it is on A. So anytime we hit our plus and minus sign here, it will swap the memory bank and anticipate the other, which is awesome. That is exactly what we want. The other thing I did that you guys will want to do is I ran a reset line in the last episode underneath these. Well, the last episode before the piston display. Ran a joint reset line under these so that whenever we're done with the calculation, we can clear it and start over. This is just like having the clear button on your calculator. So all I did was took a line all the way up to the front of the display on this button, and it needs to be inverted by default. So I just put a torch on the back and ran this. And what that does is, you can see right now we have the number 3 stored in this side and the number 2 stored in this side. So if I reset it, we expect to see 0 in both of those, which would be no torches on. If we go over here, you see they're both off. So this doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the T flip-flop is in. That'll reset it. So moving on from here, what we're going to do in the next episode is go ahead and put in our some of our adders. I think we'll connect these up so that we can actually hook these up to a display, I guess, and get some output. And we're going to have to do some fine-tuning in terms of how do we want the equals to go. What I'm thinking is, whenever you push the plus or minus button, that's going to serve, after you hit the number after that, it's going to serve as your equal sign. So any one of these lines that you hit will trigger the adders to add up what they're doing, to give you their answer. And then from there, we'll put in our other operations. We got addition and subtraction. We got multiplication and division that we want to do. And it should be pretty interesting and challenging. I'm working on how we're going to do that. We've been talking to some people about it. But if you have anything else you'd like to see or anything that's not clear, please feel free to let me know so that I can assist you. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.